Hey, what's up, besties? Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I am going to make Vetkoek, Vetcake, Oukuki. So guys, for this recipe, I'll need to touch the actual food, and remember, it's always important to wash your hands to avoid cross-contamination and cross-contact. This is a very simple recipe, and if you are interested, keep on watching till the end. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I would like to find out from you what you think. For the moisture, you'll need 700 ml purified water, of which 300 ml should be lukewarm water and 400 ml should be tap water at room temperature. To the warm water, you'll be adding approximately 150 grams of granulated sugar. Now, I must say, it doesn't have to be specific. Divide the sugar in half. One half will be used to activate the yeast. The other half will be added to the flour. By adding brown sugar, it will only have an extra browning effect to your Vetkoek. However, if you want a nice crisp golden brown, then I'll prefer you use white granulated sugar. Mix well to dissolve the sugar in the water. Okay guys, you've made it to this point of the tutorial. So be sure to check out the description box for the complete recipe guide and instruction. This is active dry yeast. So with active dry yeast, it needs to be activated in warm water and sugar, and it needs to proof. At this point, this is the most important step in making Vetcake, because you need to activate the yeast and it takes some time for it to activate. So just be sure and mindful that you activate the yeast first, and always cover it with a cloth. While we're waiting for the yeast to activate, in a bowl, put 3 leveled measuring cups of all-purpose flour. For this, I use my all-time favorite brand, Bakpro. Now add the rest of the sugar for this recipe, and be sure to adjust the sugar to your own preference. So if you feel like you need some extra sugar, you can still add bit by bit, but be sure not to give it a sugar overload. Add some salt to balance out the taste. Once you've mixed everything together and they are well combined, now is for the big reveal. We want to see how the yeast has activated. This is how the yeast looks like once it has activated. It is very frothy at the top with tiny air pocket bubbles, you can see them, and then the bottom is murky brownish, almost like a coffee color. This is the exact way to proof and activate this yeast. So guys, if after 5 minutes you do not get the same result, then it probably means that you haven't activated your yeast properly, or the yeast is dead and you'll need to discard it and start over. Begin to gradually add the activated yeast bit by bit, and mixing everything well and making sure that the flour and the liquid concentrate has been combined properly. So the next step is to cover with a clean cloth and put it in a warm environment. I like putting it in an oven. Just be sure that your oven is not switched on. So once you removed it from the oven, you'll get something like this. It has doubled in size. So for now, you just have to mix it. What you have here is a stretchy batter with a glistening velvety look to it. So this is the way you want it to be. Just be sure that it is not runny, it is a little bit stiff to enable you to mold your fat cake properly. So guys, I've had numerous failed recipes of Vetkoek. This is the best one I've found and the most simplest to explain to you. So I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, that's how it is. So now that you're done with the mixing, add approximately 750 ml vegetable oil. I use sunflower oil for this. So heat up your stove to maximum for approximately 3 to 4 minutes. Once you observe this kind of effect in your pan, then you should reduce the stove back to the middle setting. So my maximum setting is 6 and my middle setting is 4. So I'm one of those people who do not know how to use molding utensils to mold a fat cake. This is the way I've best been taught by my grandma, and I've had to master this skill over time. So I find this way the fat cake comes out nice and round. So you will need a very deep pan and a lot of vegetable oil. Do not fill the whole pan up with vegetable oil. So the best way is to fill it halfway, and the way you do it is that you mold your Vetkoek into the vegetable oil, and they should be able to take a deep dive, and after a few seconds they should be able to pop up again. So up on the right hand of the screen, you can just observe the display of ingredients that I've used for this recipe, and just be mindful that you can use the same ingredient even though the brand names are different. I use what is available and local to me. Also take in mind that this is not a paid promotion. I've bought all these products with my own money. So guys, please avoid shallow frying your fat cake, and always make sure that the temperature is just right. If your oil is too hot, they will burn outright and have a raw center, and if your temperature is too low, they are just going to soak up a lot of oil and just be those oily fat cake. And another thing I do to assist them in turning, even though they do turn by themselves, but they are those stubborn ones, I use a small society stick and I just turn them. So for the most part guys, I fry my fat cake 3.5 minutes on each side, and I just keep moving and turning them around to assist them so that one side does not get love and the other side burns. And honestly, the best way to tell that your fat cake are ready is that they'll be having that lush golden brown and the oil will not be sizzling as much. So once you're done, remove them from the pan and put them in a bowl that is having kitchen tissue. The kitchen tissue will help to soak up some of the oil that are on the exterior of the fat cake, and let them rest and cool down for around 15 to 20 minutes, and voila, we can have our crispy, smooth, fluffy Vetkoek. See you in another one. Bye besties.